Good afternoon and happy Thursday to all of your sunshiny faces. Yes, guys, it's Thursday. I keep thinking it's Friday. But honestly though, guys, I like when I also didn't make dinner tonight. I'll tell you guys why, but I like during the week, honestly, not more than the weekends, but I like during the week. So it's not like I'm like praying that it's Friday. I'm like, oh, it's only Thursday, like no big deal. But yeah, guys, so today I got like a good amount of stuff done for today, guys. I ended up not waking up super late today, but I fell asleep really late last night, and it's actually not too late right now, so I'm going to try and get in the shower quick before it gets much later than this. But oh goodness, guys, right now I'm encoding the last vlog that I edited for today. I just edited 2, but I uploaded 2 earlier this morning, so those are all good to go for tomorrow. And I am actually working on right now, I am adding recipes to my virtual recipe book, because I told you guys that is one of the things that I've been working on, because I want to get some possibly freezer dinners saved in here. So I'll show you guys a little bit of what I got done. So you guys can see on here, I got like this chicken, cheese, and broccoli pie kind of thing going on here. That was actually in my mom's cookbook. You guys see this is the old cookbook. Yeah, look at like this one is like printed out, and like my mom typed these out on a typewriter back when, I don't know where she worked. Oh my, what's wrong? It's just Mom. She just told you it was her. Look at Bravo's one ear. I hear something. I hear something. Look at it turn. Oh, how cute. You're so cute, Mr. B. So yeah, my mom, I don't know where she worked, but yeah, she said that she had typed these out on like a typewriter, like way back in the day. And this is like, I think this might be my aunt's, or it might possibly be my grandma's, maybe great grandma's. I'm actually not totally sure. It looks kind of like my aunt's handwriting, but I don't know. It's weird because like they have distinctive handwritings, but I can't tell necessarily. All I know is cursive is like either my aunt's, my grandma's, or it could have possibly been my great grandma's. But I'm trying to find the recipe for you guys in here. The one that is for this chicken, whatever one that I have here, that I added to this recipe already. I don't even know half these. I think I skipped over. Oh, this one. This is chicken broccoli pie. So I call it chicken, cheese, and broccoli pie because there's cheese in it too. Kind of similar to like the chicken broccoli rice casserole a little bit, but I think it was a Bisquick recipe. That's what my mom wrote down in here, but that's where it's from, and it's a recipe for that. But I just put baking mix because that's what Aldi sells, and so if I see that in there, I'll know to get baking mix, because normally that's where I do my grocery shopping from anyway. That is one of them that I already got done, and like I added little notes for myself as well, like, is it freezer friendly? And I said, like, it could be freezer friendly, but I may need to adjust the time, and so that might be something that I kind of want to test out. But if everything normally defrosts well, then you don't typically have to add extra baking time on. Not normally. But what I did find with the those like chicken pot pies that I made, instead of, I moved the bake, instead of, I think it was at 375, I moved it up to 400 this time, and it actually turned, like last time for some reason, the crust didn't get really like crispy or anything like that, like a good like pot pie kind of is, like not super crispy, but you guys know what I mean, like very flaky and everything like that. And the last time I made it, it didn't seem like that, and so instead I ended up bumping it up to 500, I think, for 30 minutes, covered and then uncovered, so it's baked for a total of an hour. But it was totally defrosted too, nice and defrosted, so I didn't have to worry about that either. But it worked out better this time, changing the bake time. So now I know the recipe that I ended up making for that. Again, those are like little things that I just need to test out for myself. And like I said, I noticed when I made it the very first time, I baked it at 375, which those were the instructions I had written down for myself, because it's actually a recipe that I completely not came up with, but I had used a recipe, I think it was like for Pillsbury, like chicken pot pie cups, but I used the same thing except for like reverted it and made it actually into a chicken pot pie, and then made it into a freezer friendly chicken pot pie, and then had to figure out the time and everything like that myself. So like I said, I think what I had put was $3.75 because my mom had a recipe for, I think, a chicken pot pie or something like that. In here, I might have had a recipe book, so I was trying to figure out like what normal chicken pot pie is baked for and everything like that. So when I figured that out, but again, doing my own little, you know, tester and everything like that, checked out that it was 400, which, don't worry guys, the chicken was already pre-cooked and everything like that, so there's nothing that, like, you know, it wasn't like I had raw chicken in there that like wasn't cooked the first time. It was actually already all pre-cooked chicken, and then I shredded it and then added it to the pot pie and then ended up freezing it and everything like that. So everything in there was like we could have eaten it frozen pretty much because it was fine. There was nothing that was gonna go bad or anything like that in there from it. But it turned out, like I said, everything was cooked the first time. It just turned out much better the second time doing it at 400. And I noticed that too. It didn't like get super bubbly or anything like that, but again, those were one of the recipes that I kind of, again, used a couple different weird things and hodgepodged them together and kind of came up with my own little recipe that way. Because I think I had tried to make like the Pillsbury like what are they called, chicken pot cups or something like that. They're like, you use, I think, like either crescent rolls or like biscuits or something like that, and you put them in like a like cupcake tin or whatever, and then you like bake them that way and do like a little bit of the sauce over the top or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's cute, but like, I don't know, I just like I liked the idea of the actual recipe though. And so I decided to turn it around and actually make it into a pot pie and then freeze it and then, you know, do all that. The only problem was when I had it covered, it ended up sticking the top, like the very, like a small little circle of the top of the crust ended up sticking to the top of the aluminum foil when I had covered it. So there was a hole of like missing pot pie in there, and I was like, oh my gosh, because of the way I cut it too, so it made it like really like tender, I guess. So when I pulled the aluminum foil off, because there was already like the slits in there to release the steam, it just came like right off of the aluminum foil. So yeah, there was a little hole that didn't have any what's it called, it didn't have any of the pie crust on there. But I'm going to really quickly add the last recipe card for tonight. I ended up only adding 4, but I did that, and then I also came up with a handful of things that I want to do before I start the blog again in my other channel and everything like that, because I told you guys February I wanted to start again, and I plan on keeping that promise to myself as February. There's a handful of things that I want to get done or start before it's February. So I feel like I'm kind of getting into the groove of it a little bit. At first, like this morning, it was weird because this morning I was like, I just don't feel like doing it. I was like, maybe I just won't do it. And then I was like, as I sat down and started going over a couple recipes, I was like, I really want to start doing this again. So I don't know why, guys. I was just like very hot and cold about it today. But yeah, now I'm kind of back on board. And now that I didn't want to do it because I felt like it was overwhelming, but I have a little bullet points for myself of things to get started with first, because for me, I see the big picture of something and it's hard for me to break down like the little steps that I need to get there. So what I ended up doing over here was I just added like a couple things, like I need to do a video of what's been going on and everything like that, and why I just stopped so abruptly over this, you know, last spring. And then I also need to write, find, and copy the recipes from my mom's cookbook, and then copy them into here, which is what I'm doing. And then also too, I need to start an Aldi price guide. It's one of the things that, again, I'll go into more detail with, but it's not a bad thing to start doing that now. And then it would also be helpful if I started writing and pre-recording some either recipes or blog topics or things like that, just so that I have them like pre-prepared for, you know, like before I actually start posting again. So if I had some things that I had, like if I have everything like for the most part scheduled out for like a good portion of February, in like extra blog posts or things like that, or extra recipes and things, I feel like that would be a lot more helpful, that I can at least get this stuff down and then continue to add on to other things, because there's stuff that, again, like my haul videos, I want to do those will obviously have to be out once a week. I can't pre-record those or anything, but like doing a recipes, or doing like other like frugal tips, or like, you know, shop in the grocery store, strategy guide, something, you know, whatever, just like tips and hints, and, you know, like I said, again, with the recipes and stuff like that, if I'm planning on making any of these recipes or testing some of them out, because I want to try and test them out before I turn them into freezer dinners for sure, and if they do end up turning out well, then sharing them. So we will see. What I might end up doing too is I might add the recipe and then try and format it for a freezer friendly version of it, and then because normally there's not a whole lot that you need to do to like switch something from being freezer friendly to just being like a cooked day of type of meal, but I might just post like a cook the day of meal. And then as I weed out, you know, a little bit of like, again, with that whole, you know, do I bake at 400 or 375, which one worked better, you know, and stuff like that, or the timing that might have worked better if I noticed I had to put in for an extra, you know, 10 minutes or something like that, or 5 minutes, or, you know, whatever, weeding out those little bugs and things like that to figure out a better, what's it called, like a better freezer friendly guide to it. Then I might add that later in the post or something like that, and update it. So those are just my thoughts, guys. Those are the things that's been running through my head for the last, you know, couple hours. But today I didn't end up cooking dinner tonight. I was going to make an egg bake because we have a bunch of eggs. I had planned on making it, and I also want to do it because I was hoping we'd have leftovers, and that way it can be breakfast for like either over the weekend or possibly to like maybe even Monday, Tuesday and stuff like that when everyone goes back to school. And I was thinking about doing like I wanted to do like a Denver omelet type of thing, but I realized that I had sausage frozen, like breakfast sausage in the freezer, so I might do that. But I didn't end up making it tonight because me and my mom had to go out to Walmart. I needed to get a renewal for my Microsoft Office, was expiring I think on Tuesday, so I was lucky they had it there. I think it was $70 or something like that, which it's not cheap. But I got kind of frustrated because I saw online they only had it for $50, but then in the store it was $70. So I was thinking I was like getting a bargain on it, and then I went to the store and it wasn't that. But I think it's because the physical copy was more, and the like downloadable was cheaper maybe, or something like that. I actually don't know. But I noticed that too because I went into the store one time at Office Depot, and it was the same thing. It said $50 online, but then when I went into the store it was $70. This is what happened to me last year. So I don't like buying things online though, guys, honestly, because I'm always so scared. I like having the physical copy of it and the actual receipt, so that, like, you know, because you never know with the internet, and, you know, things end up happening, or information and stuff like that. You know, I like having the actual physical copy and being like, okay, this didn't work, you know, or whatever, and then having, you know, them fix it and being like, I can show you my receipt or send it to you, you know, whatever, if I end up having a problem. So I don't know why, it just makes me feel better when I have the physical copy of something versus the downloadable or whatever. But as I was saying, I went there, and then the other thing is too, I'm almost out of my foundation, and I wanted to go to Target originally, but my mom wanted to get some stuff at Walmart, so we ended up going there, and I was like, they should have everything. I went, and they did not have my shade of foundation. They literally were not out of any other shade of the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation other than my shade. So I was like, do I go a shade up? Do I go a shade darker? Which I had been a shade lighter. I had been using it like a couple of years ago. I think originally I bought the lightest color that they had, and it was too light. So I went, I think, 1 or 2 shades darker, and it fit me, I thought, really well. But now they didn't end up having it at the store, so I was like, I'll just wait, because I think I can get through until this weekend, just until like tomorrow and Saturday. And then go ahead and pick it up at Target, probably is where we'll stop on when we go grocery shopping. So yeah, guys, that was my rant for the day. But I was also scared too because I thought I had only brought $80 with me, and I was like, oh well, like if the makeup's like $7, I think it was $6, I think at Walmart, but normally I buy it at Target anyway. I think it's like $1 more, which isn't a huge deal because like I said, it's only like $7 makeup. And then I ended up thinking I only had $80 on me. I realized I had $100 because that's what I brought with me. I was like, oh no, what if it's like, with tax and everything like that, it's going to be super, super close. And I was like freaking out, and I was like, oh, well, maybe they won't have it, and then I'll just get lucky. And they actually didn't end up having it. So I did get lucky, but I didn't want to because I actually wanted the makeup. Once I got up there, I was like, oh, I have an extra $20. And I kept recounting it because I was thinking I thought the cashier lady was going to be like, oh, you owe me another $20 for this. But yeah, I was actually right on because I was like, how did I actually I miscounted in the aisle when I was checking to make sure that I had enough, which I apparently did the whole time. So anyways though, guys, I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you, oh my gosh, guys, that was such a delay. I was playing with the card thingy on my thing. I wasn't even paying attention. Give it a thumbs up, guys. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.